Hi there, and welcome to the Memory Room. This short video is going to tell you how the Memory Room works and how you can get involved. So they'll tell me if I want to get involved with the Memory Room and get booked in.
So glad you asked. So if you're watching this video on Spotify or YouTube, there'll be a link below this video taking you to our website. Now, if you're on the website and you're watching this video, there's an inquiry form below. So first things first is registering your interest, like just sending in a little inquiry form. They'll ask you a couple of basic details on what you want to use the experience for and if you want to record in our studio or in your home. Now, these both options, the reason that we ask for this at this stage is because we want to kind of find out what's your personal preference, and you might not have a preference just now. After you've filled out your inquiry form, someone from the team in the memory room, most likely myself or Jill, maybe Fraser and some of the other guys, will give you a call back. And on this call, we're labelling this as a discovery call. So this isn't you committing to anything at this point. This is usually to kind of find out a wee bit more about the story that you want to capture, the experience you want to capture, and kind of go through the logistics of, is it better to record in your home where you're maybe more comfortable, or is it better to record at one of our studios, which is kind of set up in this sort of cozy living room environment. Another thing we'll go over on this call is the interview style or experience. So some people have been asking, is it can one of us do the interviewing? And that is obviously a service that we can absolutely offer here. Sometimes, like right now, it's a 50-50 split, but I genuinely think that if you're looking to capture a grandparent's story, for example, you may know a lot of their history and whatnot, and sometimes a non-biased, is that what you'd say? Like someone who doesn't know that person is better to interview them. Now, interviewing is absolutely a skill, and one of the best things we can do before interviewing you or one of your loved ones is kind of going over what's their story and what's some of the highlights that you want to have within this. So once all that's been confirmed on the discovery call and you're happy to go ahead, we kind of work out the best package for you, and the next thing to move on from is booking a date.
Yeah, so we'll book you in either, like Dale said, either into the studio or at your home or at someone else's home. It depends on kind of the setup that you prefer. So a lot of people might prefer us to come to their home because it's more familiar. What I would say is a lot of people might think being on camera can be a bit nerve-wracking, but this isn't something, unless you want to, that'll be posted on social media or whatever it is. It's for you and your family. So what I would say is once you start talking, you do start to forget that the cameras are there.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something that you'd prefer us not to be fully present for, we can always step outside the room, but just monitor the cameras remotely as well to make sure everything's working fine.
Yeah, it's probably a good point mentioning here. Like we'll cover this off in the the frequently asked questions as well. But the logistics of someone sitting behind a camera might be very intimidating for some people. But there's many different ways that we can set up where we've done some where we're actually in the room next door, so the couple could talk through their story, no problem. So before the session, we usually engage with, depending on if you're using an interviewer or you're going to be the interviewer yourself or the storyteller or whatever it may be, we send over like a loose structure of questions. Now, these questions are like maybe some of the best storytelling, powerful questions. They really get into the roots of bringing out the best story and the memories that you want to capture on camera. Now, as I said, this is just a loose structure. It's not too formalized. And as Jill said there, we want this to come across a very natural conversation. And that's how it ends up coming across. So it's not as if you're speaking to camera, you're speaking to someone, and just at the end of the day, just having a conversation about your life or your loved one's life, depending on what the memory room experience is.
So once you have recorded your session with us, then what will happen is we'll go away and start editing it. We do have quite a quick turnaround, so normally it will be within the 2 days that we get that back to you. We'll send you over the first draft that you can watch and let us know if there's any edits from that. Also, if you've got anything, so for example, if you start talking about maybe certain photographs that you had in the past or certain videos or timelines or something like that, and you want those added into the videos, you can then send that over to us and we'll add them in as well, just to kind of bring it more to life. Any amends, anything like that can be done at that point too. And then once you're happy with it, we will send it over to you. We'll send it over to you digitally.
So right now, this is the interesting part about this. So the way you receive your file is you get a digital link to download it. That link can be shared to anyone, so you can pass that link on to as many of your family members, and all of you can download that as many times as you need to several different devices. The link will be active for 30 days, but it can be extended if you need it for longer. We're also going to send you a physical file. Now, if you think of weddings and whatnot, usually you get a USB stick with your pictures and all that sort of thing on it. The only thing is, USB is almost becoming non-existent. So we need to try and think of a way of future-proofing this. And right now, I think the best option is like a hard drive or an SD card to have the longevity. Because one thing you may not think about is, okay, in 10, 15, 20, 30, maybe even 40 years, you want to hold on to this file and replay it back. Like, what is the best way to do that?
Because if you think of videos and DVDs when we
Yeah,
were
like they're
growing
so
up, they're not a thing.
non-existent.
So
Um,
we'll
one
future proof it.
one other way that, like, a third option to future proof it is by putting it on a platform. So YouTube is a good platform, and Spotify is a good platform. These platforms are a third party, but it doesn't mean you're posting it to the public. You can post it as a private link, and that means all you need to have is that link. And no matter where you are in the world, if you share that link with a friend, as long as they've got internet access, they'll be able to access the video and being able to watch it back and play it on the TV, the iPad, your phone, or whatever it may be. So yeah, that's where we're at just now. Now, it most likely may change as technology advances and whatnot, but we will make sure that we're always evolving with the times with that. And if you've got any other means of how you want to receive this, then please let us know.
So if you've got any questions or you'd like to get in touch to find out more about the memory room, then there'll be a link below this video that you can fill out a form and we'll be in touch, and hopefully we'll get you in the memory room soon.